Welcome, everybody. Great to see everyone. We're just going to give a minute here to get everybody on board. So, yeah, I think we're good here. Well, some people will probably continue to join, but welcome, everybody. Today, well, I'm Camille from Needle Marketing. I think everybody's probably been on these calls before, but just in case you haven't, the way we run these is when you come on, you're muted, and then just feel free to unmute yourself and jump in and ask a question if you want to. You can also type a question in the chat and we'll monitor that. So what I want to do now is introduce our team. So today we're going to talk about Facebook and Facebook ads in particular. So Camilla is here from our community manager, and we have our special guest is Yvonne, who's on the Needle Marketing team as well. He works more behind the scenes, but he is does all our Facebook ad configuration for all of our clients. So welcome, Yvonne. We're happy to have you on today. So I will go ahead and hand it over to Camilla, and you guys can get started.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because I have a presentation. But before so, I'd love to know how many of you are either already running Facebook ads or interested in running Facebook ads for your school. You can comment in the chat. I'd just like to get a number of how many people have already tested it or have done it already. I think that will be helpful. I know how many people are a little bit familiar with Facebook ads already. And I'll go ahead and share my screen. I see Robin has tried. Hopefully we can give you some helpful tips today. All right, I'm going to share my screen with you all. All right, so today we're going to be talking about Facebook ads for Montessori, and really we're fortunate to have Ivan here, who is a Facebook ad guru. He does all, like Camille said, he does all the Facebook ads for Needle Marketing, as well as Solutions 8, which is kind of our mother company. And it's unique. It's a unique space doing Facebook ads for Montessori because you really have to be familiar with your target audience. So we're going to talk about, as well as some targeting tools and how you can measure the performance of your ads, because really you want to make sure that you're not just throwing away your money. You want to make sure that you're targeting the right people, you're getting a return on your investment in your ads. That's really important to you. So let's go ahead and get started here. So here are just the topics we're going to cover today. And I'm going to start with why use Facebook marketing. So why use Facebook ads? So really, there are a few perks to Facebook ads, and the first one is audience size. There are over 1.13 billion daily active users on Facebook. I'm not saying you're going to reach all of them, but the audience is there, and a lot of them are within that age group that you're looking for these parents. So you've got your audience there. Also, people do spend a good amount of time on social media. The average user spends a good 50 minutes a day on Facebook, just scrolling and getting in touch with, friends, what's going on in their community, and they're using social media quite often. Another great perk of Facebook ads is the targeting tools. Facebook ads provide a robust targeting options. You can target your audience based on location, demographics, age, gender, interests, and behaviors. That's why it's so important to understand your ideal consumer. And I mean, you're pretty familiar with the type of parent that fits the community. So having that in mind when running your Facebook is really important. And then once you figure out how to use this targeting tools on Facebook, it becomes a little bit more possible to reach out to those prospective parents that you want to communicate with. And another great thing about Facebook ads is you have immediate traffic. So as soon as your ad goes live, you will start to have an audience, and you will be able to see results quite quickly in comparison to other ad formats. That is, of course, depending on how well you've been able to target your ad and how well you've been able to kind of tweak it. But you should see an immediate traffic towards your ads.
And can you go to the slide back? So I just would like to comment on like
Yes.
some
Yeah.
points. So the second point of attention is basically, as you mentioned, Camila. So what people are doing on Facebook, once you will understand that, you most likely will be much better configured for running Facebook ads. Because once you understand that people are not coming to Facebook for your ads, they're not coming to buy immediately. They come into Facebook to watch posts of their friends, or to like someone's new photo, or to watch some videos on the topics they're interested in. So your role is to blend in your ads so they fit within the feed of your targeting audience, like in the best way possible. So that's why like videos work really well, or like emojis and stuff. So people use emoji to talk, and when you run ads without emoji, you just kind of show that it's an ad, right? That's why single image ads, image with just like ad with just one image of something natural, like what we are using for Montessori schools is just photo of classroom, for example, or photo of teachers with kids, or something like that, just one photo. Not like tons of text to show this is the ad, here's the button, click here, buy now, or something like that, just image. Once they will be interested in the first piece of content, you will be able to show your offer. So that's a really good point about like how people use the Facebook, right? Just a quick note on targeting. Right now, with all of the updates to privacy and to everything else, a lot of targeting options will go away. So right now, behaviors really affected. As you know, like households, we can't target households anymore. So we can't like top 5% earners in the zip codes or something like that. We can't do that anymore. But what we still can do is target parents with and then ages that you're interested in. So parents with teenagers or adult children or preschoolers. This is still available, and this is demographics, and this is definitely something to use while it's available, because I strongly believe it will go away too. So we soon most likely will have only interest. Right now in breakdowns, we don't see what age is converted and what gender is converted anymore. We used to see and know exactly what like women of like 35 to 44 years old convert on this ad. Right now that's unavailable on Facebook for some reason, and they did not comment on that. So a lot of stuff changes. So that's like the reason why I would recommend to use that while it's available right now. Yeah, that's it.
All really great points, Ivan. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, I definitely think that to your first point about the attention, I think people are really conditioned to recognize ads on social media. So they're, if they see something that appears to be very advertisement like or salesy, they'll just scroll right past it. So to your point of including that content that is actually appealing for people to interact with is important. And then on your note on targeting, Facebook is always changing their privacy. Well, there's different privacy rules all the time. People are able to have access to different information at different times. And lately there has been a big push on privatizing private information that we used to have access to, but don't. So it's important to always stay up to date with what's going on with Facebook privacy rules. It is more work than you might think to tweak those different targeting tools, because they're always changing.
When they were fined for like $5 or $6 billion for privacy concerns because of Cambridge Analytica and because of GDPR, they started implementing a lot of stuff, and they changed a lot. So honestly, what we are seeing is that if you are able and if you're willing to start and go into that unknown while everyone else don't know what they need to do right now with the ads because of all of these changes, Facebook is action. The same as Google. You're competing with other advertisers, and if they're afraid of running ads right now, you will get a better price for your conversions. So that's just like the thing, that it's better to adapt than just stay away from that.
Yeah. Definitely. All right, so there are prospective parents who would fit into your school community who are using Facebook right now, and that is true. They're active on Facebook. They might even be on it at this moment. So there is that audience waiting to be reached. let's talk about the various types of Facebook ads you can use, because there's different strategies you can take. There's different ways you can use Facebook ads to draw people in and to have an interest in not only your school, but Montessori itself. So let's talk about that.
Sure.
All right. So let's talk about post boosting. So Facebook gives you the chance to boost a post that you create, and this can be anything that you post on your page. This only is beneficial if you post something that can attract prospective parents to further explore your page and website. So if you feel that you post something that is very meaningful to your school, it's something that you can interact with or find interest in, then it might be worth paying to boost your ad. If your content shares information about the value of Montessori education, for example, that's a good maybe post to boost. If it includes a link that draws people on the site, so if it's a way for parents to then click onto your website, that's also a good one to consider boosting. If your post includes a video, just like Ivan said, having video content is really, really good for ads, because that's a little bit less salesy and more of a valuable content that a prospective parent would actually want to explore. If you're sharing information about an upcoming event that could be valuable to prospective parents, that's also great. Like, for instance, if you have a post about an open house that you want prospectives to come to, or maybe you are a free parenting workshop, that's something that you can boost and it would be beneficial. So there are different types of posts that you can boost, but really you want to make sure that they kind of fit into these categories, because otherwise it might not be valuable enough for you to actually pay to boost the post. So yeah.
Like post boosting is like first step in Facebook ads. So if you decide to try something like $10, for example, for this specific post to see what it does, that's a good way to start. So that's basically why they created this. They limited the functionality, they simplified everything, gave you one button, you can choose the location radius that you would like, and then just click one button and boost the post. Good way to start. I wouldn't recommend that. If you're on this call, then you might want to have something better with your Facebook ads. And Boost Post does not give you ability to set up different attributions, different conversion events, interests and behaviors that we talked about, like parents with like teenagers, etc. Your location radius are limited. You can't exclude. There is a lot of limitations. And if you don't understand what these limitations are, then you can boost, because that's like first step to try. But once you understand that you would like a little bit more, then this is the time where you need to create a business manager, set up ad account, link it with your page, connect Instagram page of yours, and then start like good, like standard ads for Facebook.
Yeah, those are great points. Yeah, definitely a good place to start, but not the best results you can get. So have that in mind, definitely. All right, let's look at the other options here that you have. You can promote your page as well. I don't necessarily recommend doing this for schools, because you're not necessarily trying to draw people onto your page. If anything, you're trying to draw people onto your website, because that's where people can learn about your programs. That's where people can maybe schedule a tour. But this is an option if you want your page to have more exposure. Maybe you're maybe you are sharing a lot of tools that are helpful to prospective parents on your Facebook page. If it's a community tool that you use for your school and it has good engagement, you might want to draw prospective parents in. They might be excited that they see that you have a lively online community that offers resources. You can update your page regularly as well. So you're always adding to your page. You're posting probably a few times a week. If your page has many funnels to your website, and you want to make sure that you have this anyways, because it's free to do, you want to make sure you always have your website on your Facebook page very easily accessible, because ultimately, like I said, your website's how your parents are going to be booking tours and really learning more about your offerings. Right. And also you can share updated event information. You can create events on your Facebook. So if you have open houses or parenting workshops that you're offering, you can always create events and promote those on your Facebook page as well. So these are things to consider.
Right. And from what I've seen, like on Facebook, a lot of job being done by social proof. So once people see that your page has hundreds of likes or thousands of likes, that you post something and it has some likes, people will see you as legit business. Even if you already are a legit business, you have like a big school, but you have low engagement, people see you online. They just see numbers, likes, engagement. That's what they see. They don't know who you are, or they can't speak with you right now to understand more about your school. That's why, like, what some of the businesses use to promote their page for is to get initial page likes. There are some European countries that you can get cheap likes from. So if you target some countries, you can get your page some social proof just to start running like decent ads to US-based audience or Canada-based audience. So they will already see that you have some engagement. Would I recommend that? I'm not sure. This is up to everyone, but I've seen that. So that's just a point that I want to make. I wouldn't recommend running traffic to your Facebook page, and here is why. Facebook is not your platform, and you can't control it. So if someone lands on your Facebook page, they scroll down through your posts, you have some engagement, and then boom, someone messages them. They pay their attention to messages and they go in from your page, and you paid for this person. And this person was distracted just by one message. So I would recommend like trying to get people out of Facebook or any other social platform to your website, where they can engage just with your content the way you want them to, right? So that's just the point. Also, the more Facebook likes you have doesn't mean that you will have more engagement for your posts. I'm sure you've seen that some page can have 10,000 of likes and followers, but they will have like 20 likes on their posts, or like 3 comments, because Facebook decides the way they want to show their content on their feed. So they will decide that today I will show your Facebook post to like 3% of your audience. And this is true. This is like true numbers. So it doesn't mean if everyone likes you, it doesn't mean that all of them will see your posts. That's why, again, going to boosting of posts, this is what you can do. You can boost posts to show them to your audience. And this is what we've been doing with our town halls. I'm sure you could have seen that we run ads to our page followers. Even if they follow our page already, we're still trying to get our posts to them, so they will see. So Facebook won't prevent you from seeing what we have to offer on this like upcoming town hall, right? Awesome.
Great, yeah. All right, and this is another point, I already brought this up, but directing people to your website, this is a really, really big goal. Like Ivan said, you can't control Facebook as much. It's not your platform, you don't own it, but you do own your website. You can control what content goes on there. You can kind of design it in a way where you know what parents, you make it easy, the information that you want them to see right there in front of them. You make sure you have it the way that you want. So it's important to funnel those parents from Facebook onto your website, and that's going to be what brings you conversions ultimately. So people signing up for tours, people contacting, maybe people signing up to your email list or handing over their information for so that you can access them via email. So it's very important to draw them onto your website. So yeah, really, this is a huge goal. Make sure any post that you're boosting or on your page or really on any Facebook ad, you do them onto your website. Ultimate goal.
Step number two. Once you understand that boosts are not enough, try Facebook clicks. So ads to run clicks and traffic to your website. This is called landing page views. So you will optimize for landing page views, and people will see what you have on the website. The problem I've seen with that method, so once you started that, that's not the ultimate solution, because if you tell Facebook that you would like to have some clicks, Facebook will give you some clicks. It doesn't guarantee you any conversions or that these clicks will be relevant. So for example, if there is some clicky person that clicks on everything, and there is a lot of people, my mom is a person like that. She clicks on everything on Facebook. So if there is such a person, then she will see your ad and she will click on that and she will scroll the website and she will go away because you're in States and she's not, for example. So that's like the second step. After that, you have conversions, but we will talk about that in a moment. Yeah.
All right, and yeah, let's talk about increasing conversions to your website. So you can create ads that lead parents to pages to your website that create lead to conversions. A conversion is when a prospective parent takes an action that you want them to take on your website, such as contacting or scheduling a tour. When you are thinking about your ad process for this, you want to make sure your message has a clear call to action. You want it to have, you want them to have a reason to click on it, like scheduling a tour, attending an open house. You want there to be a reason there, not just post your website.
Right.
And you also want to make sure your website forms are working properly. So this goes on back to website design. Make sure your scheduling tools and things like that, your forms are working properly on your page. Because if a parent goes on and isn't able to schedule a tour easily, that's just a really bad impression. And they're probably going to just move on. So make sure the entire experience from clicking on the ad to signing up for a tour is very seamless. That's going to make you look good. It's really going to help you, and it's going to have that good first impression. So definitely make sure you have that all in check.
Yeah, that's a great point. So conversion objective. So this is called on Facebook, it's called conversion objective, and you can optimize for different objectives. Conversion objective lets you tell Facebook exactly what you want. So I want people to schedule tours with me. I wish you could just click like, I want people to sign up with their kids, with all of them, with my school, but that's not available yet. So they give you ability to optimize. And what Facebook will do, Facebook will learn. So once people will take action on your website, the more people take actions, the better Facebook understand who it is who converts on like Camila's website or someone else's website. They understand ages, demographics, interests, and they are able to find the exact audience like from your targeting. And that requires some more technical implementations, a lot more than all of the other methods, because you need to install the pixel properly, you need to verify your domain, you need to set up events on your Facebook, on your website. And right now with recent limitations, you can set up only 8 events. So you can like have lead, contact form, and submit request, something else, and 8 of those, no more. Previously, you used to have like all of them, like 30, or I don't remember how much of them. So you will need to set up it that way. And for Camila's point, like you should have your forms in place. And what we do with our templates and what I highly recommend is for you to have a thank you page for each of your form. So once someone schedules a tour, you redirect them to a dedicated page which says thank you for scheduling. We are excited to meet you, blah, blah, blah. But for Facebook reasons, it's required to track conversions properly. Because once they will land on this page, you can tell Facebook, if someone lands on this thank you page and you know for sure that this is not in navigation or in your Facebook page or in your Instagram, so this URL can be reached only once someone converts. So once someone submits a form, they land on this page and Facebook understands this person converted and I will try to find more of them. And this is why I need to give Facebook some more time and some more budget. So Facebook needs, previously used to need to about 50 conversions within the last 3 weeks, as I remember. So you should have got like 50 conversions before this day, or like they won't count and Facebook won't optimize towards them. Right now, with all of the limitations, Facebook understands that's not the case anymore. Not all of the people will be able to get 50 conversions because they limited the targeting and they limited the analytics in Facebook. So they removed that. That gives you a better possibility to run small campaigns, because right now you can, if you get like 3 conversions, you will be able, Facebook will be able to start optimizing. And here we come to how to work with smaller budget, because as you know, like leads have different value. If someone schedules a tour, they're higher value than if they request pricing of your school, tuition request, right? And if you are not able to give Facebook a higher budget and more time for scheduled tours, start with lower value conversion. So start with tuition requests. You will be able to get more of them because they are free. You don't like push people towards meeting you personally or virtually, and they're easier to convert. And Facebook will be able to better optimize. Will they give you more like tours? And no, that's up to your funnel. If your funnel is good, if you send like 5 emails after tuition request, remind them how good your school are, then you give a hook shown like schedule a tour today, let's discuss if you have any questions, and let us show you our beautiful classrooms and our amazing teachers. Then chances are you will be able to get more tours out of tuition request ads than from scheduled tourist ads for the same price. So that depends on for each school. Most likely it will be different, but you need to, I would recommend you to set up 3-4 conversion events and then decide what you want to start with. So you have contact form, you have tuition request, you have schedule a tour, and you have, I don't know, some lead magnet, for example, parents handbook, or like virtual classes, how to do something. So some creative lead magnet that people will be interested to get. And once you have them, you will be able to test, like give each one of them $50 to $100 and see how much conversions you will be able to get for each of these events. You will see that for contact form, you will get 2, but for tuition request, you will get 8. So that's again something to test, and it depends on the strategy, and that's why all of the ads will be different, because each person will have different strategy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, what you're saying is give people different chances to make conversions on your website. And obviously there's going to be ones that require more dedication from the parent, like actually coming to your school and scheduling a tour, or just looking at your tuition, which they can do, and it doesn't actually cost them that much energy or time. So yeah, I think that's very important. So yeah, I think it's good to have options always. Great point. All right, let's see what else here. So this is another one you could do. You can propose a special offer. Obviously, it's not common for schools to offer a discount on tuition. That's not what we so, but there are other offers you can of course promote. Like I said earlier, free parenting workshops, fundraising events, scholarship opportunities. It's great for people to know that if you have a scholarship opportunity, to make that known. You can use ads to do that, and kind of explain how people can apply to scholarships, or you can say, check out apply for a scholarship. So offers might look a little bit different for Montessori schools than they would for maybe a retailer or other services. You're not offering free classes. But you can also propose special offers in unique ways that work for your school.
Right. What you can do, and this is like Facebook adds a lot about as scarcity. So like being scared to lose the ability to convert right now and to get the offer. What we ran, I don't remember the name of the school, so sorry. What we ran is like limited places. Like we got only two seats for ages 8 to 10 in our Montessori classroom, and there is a picture of the classroom. And when you combine this like 8 to 10 ages, and right now let me check on Facebook, you can target parents of ages 6 through 8, so early school age children. It's called on Facebook. If you can target these people, and they will see that it's like exactly the age my kid is, they will think that this is a destiny. They got right in the right place in the right time, and this is their chance to get the offer right now. Because who could think that you would get like offer that's so tailored to your needs, right? So that's the beauty of targeting on Facebook. If you combine it with good offer, and your audience is good, and your ad is appealing, there is no way they're not interested in that.
Yeah, that's a great point. You can really kind of target those offers to the specific people you want. Yeah. All right. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but increasing engagement. Of course, it's important to create conversations and excitement for upcoming events or on your page in general. It does make you seem like a more legitimate business for those parents. It's like when you look at a restaurant and you look for reviews. If they have only one review, it's too new to test out yet. You know, you don't maybe want to be one of the guinea pigs there. So having that kind of engagement that exists on your page or in your community is important. to kind of just make you seem like a more established business nowadays. People do check for that. So there are various ways that you can use ads to increase engagement, like we talked about before.
I would say this is a really, really good option if you have a lot of high quality organic content. So if you film your classrooms or your classes, something engagement, what you will see that for like spending like $50 on engagement for this post, you will get not like 1,000 views or something like that. You will get 20,000, because what people do on Facebook, if they like something, they share it. They will share your post on their page, and majority of their friends will see that. And then if someone from their friends will like that, they will reshare it. And this is how you create this like viruses of different posts. So if you think that this post can be viral, that you can engage people in sharing it with other people, then you will be able to cut your costs on ads like 80%, I would say. Like 20% ad cost and 80% of other is organic reach that you will be able to achieve with that. So increase engagement, it will increase engagement in your post, definitely, because you ask Facebook for that and they will find people who engage with your post. And I would just say that you need to target it properly. So if you will target people that are not connected to Montessori and they don't have kids and they engage with your post, it doesn't matter, right? You need to find the right audience that will be interested in what you have to offer. Yeah. Oh, okay. I believe it will drop out. Let me find the presentation. Let me present. And let me share my screen really quick. Okay. Can you give me some notice if you can see that, please?
Yep, it looks good, Ivan.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so this is the purpose of special offer, increase engagement, and what type of ads should I use? So again, it depends of how technical you are and how much you're willing to learn and spend on Facebook. If you want to do a proper ads, and by that I mean 500 plus budget per month on Facebook, then I would definitely do two campaigns. I would do conversion campaign. This is a campaign that will engage people in some regular offer. So lead magnet, for example, or if you have a good blog post that people can read on your website, so then you can create a second campaign. It's the retargeting campaign. So this is the campaign which will be shown only to people who engage with your business in some way, and you decide how. So if they browsed your blog post and you decide which URL it is, then I want to show them offer to schedule a tour with me. By doing that, you will funnel out the people who are not interested in your website, and you will show your ads only to people who are likely to engage with your business as like tour scheduling process. So usually it's two campaigns: conversion campaign, it's meaning conversion objective, and remarketing campaign, it's also conversion objective, but it's shown to a very limited audience of people who engage with your business. Yeah, combination of ads. So this is exactly what Camila wrote here. So that's right. How can an effective Facebook strategy help me achieve that goal? So as we mentioned, once you're able to get the reach, so once people can start seeing you in online on Facebook by boosting posts, boosting blog posts, creating videos, etc., you will be able to start converting them. And this is exactly what Facebook is good for. Sometimes if school run Google ads, like on an ongoing basis for good keywords, for preschool Montessori near me type of keywords, we can recommend running Facebook remarketing only. Facebook remarketing can be like $100 per month budget. So in Facebook, you decide the budget per day. So it's about like $3-4 per day. This is what you are willing to give to Facebook, and think of that more as like budget per day, because $3, it will give you like 3-4 clicks. Like honestly, maybe 4, depends on your location a lot. We've seen Facebook costs vary from like 20 cents per click to up to $4 per click, depending on different states and different cities. Because the more competition you have, surrounding your areas, the higher your cost will be. That's why you don't have to go like too broad on Facebook. I would recommend starting with like 5 miles radius around your school, maybe up to 10 once you're ready with your budget. So you will compete with less people, right? Because it's not only schools that you compete after, but all of the brands that use pretty much the same targeting as you do. So, for example, if you're targeting parents with preschoolers, it's not only schools who will target that audience. It can be, I don't know, some camps, for example, or some school supplies that are interested in mothers with kids of this age because they have like backpacks or something like that. So you're competing with a lot of people. That's why you need to carve your audience. It's like blue ocean type of stuff. Carve your audience in the first place. So that's what I mentioned with remarketing. Once you understand that these kind of people engage with my business, you create audience of people who engage with you, and then Facebook allows you to create lookalike audience. So you can give to Facebook that I would like lookalike of 1% of these people who converted on my website. And Facebook will start looking for them intensively. And as you understand, you can have two similar or the same lookalike audiences. So you won't compete with other brands. That's why sometimes lookalike will give you cheaper clicks. But again, lookalikes I would recommend only once you achieve a level of about 50 conversions, because Facebook needs to know who converts. Okay, so everything what I mentioned is written here. So increasing the quality of your leads, stand out amongst other schools. So not everyone is tech savvy. And again, this is the point when you need to decide that I would like to be among them. So I would like my ads to be seen, because a lot of schools still are not digital at all. A lot of schools have like website from 2005 and they don't update it because they don't believe that you can actually get business online, right? And this is absolutely not the truth. Then smart growth. So by closely monitoring your ad performance, you can develop and grow your ad spend so you get the best return on your investment. This means checking analytics daily. That's true. But for analytics, Facebook right now have delayed their analytics data. So you will start receiving conversions. So for example, you're an ad for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? And on Thursday, you decide to see the performance. You will see that you got 10 conversions or like 3 conversions. But if you will open the same time frame, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, next week, you will see that for that 3 days, you got not 10 conversions as you saw on Thursday, but right now it's 15 conversions because Facebook attributes data later. So somebody can convert not right away. For example, I don't know, they need to go to the breakfast with the kids and they stop what they are doing on Facebook and go to do some work. And then they reopen their browser, they see this tab that they opened last day and they decided that after all, I would like to convert or something like that. So with data, you should be really careful. I usually give up to 7 days before analyzing the performance of 7 days before. So I give Facebook 7 days to attribute all of the data and show me real results. And what that means that you, again, need to be able to spend. Because if you're running some ads, pausing, waiting for performance, checking performance, optimizing, then restarting the campaign, it starts to learn again and blah, blah, blah. So you want to be running Facebook ads for a set period of time. So you decide, I would like this campaign to go for 3 weeks and I give this $200 budget. And once that's done, you pause the campaign, you analyze the performance, and then next month you create the same campaign, but optimize it. So you checked and you see that ad number 1 and 2 with this like girl and the boy, like the girl worked better. So people engage with that image better than with other. So next time I would like to test not like these 2 images, but I would like to test images similar to image number 2. So I will have 2 of these images. And by doing that on regular basis, you're able to optimize your performance. That's why, again, it requires time. Yeah, so this is this point is about channels. So right now, and this is what Custom from Solutions 8 loves mention a lot, um, people require, on our days, require up to 30 interactions before taking action. So they live on different platforms. Some of them are on Facebook, some of them Google stuff, some of them scrolling Instagram, and you want to be everywhere. So once they will see you once, that's not enough usually for people. They need up to 30, I believe it's 32 number, 32 interactions. And in 60s, it was 3. So they need to see 3 banners of your brand to buy. And right now it's 30. So we have a lot of competition here, and Facebook is one of the platforms that you definitely want to be on. I would say right now it would be Facebook. YouTube is huge. So if you're able to create video content, and honestly, video content can be created just with iPhone. If you can shoot something that's going on in your room, or if you can provide some value using videos, then you will be able to capture additional platform where your target audience can be, right? Okay. Sorry, I don't see the slide. Oh, here it is. Building a great Facebook ad strategy means targeting the right audience. And this is what we have been talking a lot. And this is what will separate your business from others. You can choose different targeting strategy. For example, you can go really robust on Facebook. I'm not sure if you know about narrowing the audiences, but you can decide a very specific set of people who will see your ad. For example, parents with preschoolers who are also interested in Montessori, who are also interested in child development, and also interested in, I don't know, Forbes. For some reason, you are aiming after business people who runs something and they interested in that journal. And this will be your unique set of people who you will be targeting. And you can test it and see how it works. To simplify that, I can give you some insight that right now, the less targeting you have, if you run in conversions objective only, the less targeting you have, the better results you might see. So if you're just given the interest of Montessori, you're not limited in Facebook, because with conversions objective, what Facebook does, Facebook learning and trying to find similar people. And imagine that you're saying Facebook to find similar people, but not from all people who can be similar, but from this little audience. So like this, like 100 people, I would like to find like within them extra one. Facebook will find one, that's it. So that's why I would recommend broader audiences. With higher budget, and by higher, I mean hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, what we did to boost the performance is that we removed the targeting completely with conversions objective. So Facebook had 0 targeting, but we gave it 100,000 worth of data. So Facebook knows exactly like what kind of socks this person wears, and will find similar people based on that interest or something like that. So the more data you can give, the less targeting you can limit your campaigns to. The lower budget you have, the better targeting you should do. And that's basically the rule with Facebook and with Google too. Okay, how you can target, we mentioned almost everything. So geographical location, I would go with the lowest one, so 5-10 miles radius. I'm not sure right now it's they changed the location radius. I don't remember what's the minimum. It used to be 5 miles. I believe it's the same right now. So try with 5 miles. If you can't find anyone within 5 miles radius, and it depends hugely on location that your school based in. So if you're on the countryside and like people drive to your school, then you need to have a high radius, or you can target a specific 5-mile radius of like people where they work, for example, and show them ads during the working hours. Next is demographics. So it's the ages, the genders, everything else. So what I would recommend is for genders, use both genders. We didn't find any concrete data that only women or only men convert for Montessori school. Both of them are parents, and both of them care for their kids' education. So most likely both genders will convert. usually more of women, but you don't want to throw out like all of these other conversions and all the other people. Ages, I would say that it depends on what kind of program you target. If you're targeting kindergarten, for example, you can go with younger ages. So like 25 or like 28 through 35, for example, and you can test that. If you're using conversions objective, as I mentioned, you can set both genders and all ages, because Facebook will find the people that you're interested in based on your conversion events and based on your brand, and it takes a lot of into consideration. So this depends hugely on what type of ads you're running. Psychographics, what are their values, what personality. So if you can tailor some of them of specific value of your people. So if, as I mentioned, Forbes, that's more of the interest of psychographics. So if you know that your parents interested in some topic, kitchen or like Ellen show or something like that, if you can find that, then you will be able to do a better targeting for testing purposes. Behavior is how they behave on Facebook. That's wildly popular among e-commerce, because on Facebook you can set up online buyers, I believe, or engaged shoppers. Here's how it's called. So engaged shoppers. What it means on Facebook is that Facebook tracks if some person is interested in clicking on buy now type of ads. So if you clicked on buy now button on Facebook, within the last 7 days, you will be under engaged shoppers audience. Right now, behavior is going away. So I wouldn't build my strategy on targeting based on the behavior, because they will try to limit that. And with all of the privacy cookies and everything else, we will see less and less of behavior. So I would mostly do geographic, psychographic interests, and demographic. I would also like phase out from that a little bit if possible. But right now it still works, so take advantage of that while you can. Okay, create a custom avatar. So this is if you know who your person is. So that's why all of the interviews with parents, all of the gathering of information, and all of the forums that you might have. So the more data you have on your target audiences, the better targeting you can carve out for yourself. Once you feel that you have a strong understanding of your ideal customer and how to reach them, you can start creating the right ad content. Facebook is a little bit less than Instagram, but it's a visual network. So the 80% of your ad is image or video that you have. 80%. So that's number one thing that you need to consider. Once they watch take a look on your image, they check your primary text, then your headline, then your call to action. So this is like how the eyes work on Facebook. So you need to make sure that your content that you would like to promote is appealing, that people actually like it, right? Here we mentioned, so that's identity. I would say that image is hugely affects the identity you have. So if you have some modern school or something like that, you definitely need to have modern photo, right? It should be done better than like all of the traditional kind of school. Because if you're a traditional school that serving people for like 30 years, let's say, or 50 years, you can post lower quality content, because this is within your identity. You're still about the tradition. You're not about like modern industry and better quality or something like that. But again, if you have access to a good smartphone, you'll be able to do amazing photos for Facebook, because Facebook has image of that size, like how you can see Zoom right now, me or presentation. It's small. You shouldn't have like 5,000 pixel by 5,000 pixel kind of image. So it's not a poster on the wall. It's an image on small screen. So quality doesn't matter. What matters a lot is values and content that you have in your image. So if it's just a blank wall of like, I don't know, something, you won't get a lot of attention. But if it's some engaging conversation with kids in the classroom where something is going on and you can see that on the image, you can feel that that vibe of that moment, this is the kind of content that will engage people, right? Reward, and this is again hugely to Kasim. He's all about providing value first. So it's empathy. We need to give to people first before asking them to do something. So you can't just like post an ad asking the hey person convert or something like that. You need to give them something, some value. So let us show you our beautiful classrooms and educate you a little bit more on choosing the best Montessori school for your child for free. Schedule a tour with us, please. Something like that. So you can position it differently. While it's the same action, it matters how you position and what kind of value you're given. Tone, so it's up to brand. So what can I mention here is psychographic and behavior. So it's up to how people engage and what type of brand you have. So if you're a modern brand, you will have some dynamic conversation, a lot of smiles, emojis, and something like that. If you're a traditional school, you can skip emojis at all if that fits your brand, and if people will see that that's ad, but I like what I see, that doesn't matter if you have emojis or not, right? Okay. You might be wondering how much money should I be spending on Facebook ads? And there is no right answer for that. It's up to you. That's exactly right. I would recommend to start seeing results. I would recommend about $200 to test. So, and that's up to you. I would maybe run a campaign with $200 and see what kind of results you will be able to get. And again, this depends a lot of your cost per click, how much you're paying to attribute a person, and your location. So the number can be different, it can vary greatly. In Canada, ads are cheaper. So I can't tell exactly how much you are going to pay, but this is the number that you will be able to see first results from. If you are like running ads for $20, you will see engagement, you will see clicks, but I'm not sure you will see conversions, honestly. So I would start from that. Good budget is about $500 to like $700. If you can afford to spend that on Facebook, then you're consistently into digital marketing, and you know that you will long term you will get good consistent results with the Facebook ads. That's how I would say. Not depending on your budget, I would definitely recommend running ads for special events of your school. So if you have open house, for example, I would definitely recommend to spend whatever you can to boost the post, to get some attention to that. So you can spend $50 to boost a post, and you will get extra 4 people on your open house. One of them can convert and they will pay tuition or something like that. That's definitely worth trying, and you will never know whether or not you will get these people unless you will run like this $50 ad budget, right? So this is, if I'm not mistaken, a few packs of paper or a printer, and by doing that you can grow your business, right? So analyzing your ad performance regularly is essential to having a good Facebook ad strategy. As we mentioned, you need to be able to learn. And again, this is if you can afford to have consistency. So if you will commit to running ads for all of your open houses, on like open house number 4, you will know exactly who to target and what kind of ads to show to them, right? So that's all of the analytics depends hugely on the amount of spending and consistency. Facebook demo. Okay, I believe that's it, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Then I recommended before that call, I recommended to do FAQ. So if you will have any questions, I will gladly answer all of them, at least the ones I can. So please write them to the chat or feel free to unmute yourself and ask them. And I can even try to show you something on Facebook Business Manager if that will be relevant to the topic. Okay, no.
I'll ask a question that I know I get asked a lot when I talk to, oh, here one, Sarah has one.
Do we have to create consistency between Facebook ads and Google ads in any way? That's a great question. And this is more about the branding. So what I mentioned to you, like all of the platforms can work together really well. So if you run Google ads, you can set up Facebook ads remarketing with similar kind of imagery and vibe. And this remarketing will be shown only to people who clicked on your Google ads and opened your website, and they will see then ads on Facebook. So imagine how cool is that? You're Google for school on Google, and then you see their ad on Facebook. This is magic for majority of people still. And you can do that. So this is the first way that that works together. Second way is that you can reuse content. So if you created some blog post, you can run Facebook ad using the images from that blog post. And you can do similar ways, you can do similar things for Google Display. So Google has also display marketing where you can show images on all of the websites over the internet with your ads. So usually it's more about the branding. If you have the same kind of words, if you have the same kind of vibe of your text, same images, then you will have this consistency right away. Great question. Yeah, Camille?
Yeah, the question that I get asked a lot is, how does Instagram fit into the picture with when you run Facebook ads?
Okay, so Instagram is a part of Facebook. They bought it. Sorry, someone spams me hugely. Okay, here it is. So Instagram is part of Facebook. So when you will set up your Facebook ads, you will be able to start your Instagram ads right from there. So let me really quickly show you that. Facebook. Let me know once you will be able to see that.
Yeah, I can see it.
Awesome. So let me open some of the ad set. And here, once you set up your ad set, and the structure is following. You have campaigns. Under campaigns, you have ad sets, and under ad sets, you have ads. So this is how all of it's structured. You have one campaign, and you can have multiple ad sets across one campaign. And for each ad set, you can have tons of different ads. So in here, you will see that once I will scroll to placements, by default, it will be automatic placements. And this is what I would recommend too, because it just gives you more room to place your ad on. But you can go to manual placements instead, and you can choose all of these platforms. So you can unclick Facebook, unclick Audience Network, unclick Messenger. And then on Instagram, you can choose just to show your ads in Instagram feed. So I will unclick Instagram Explorer and Instagram Source. And this is how you run Instagram ads on Facebook. So if you see that your imagery is a lot of like Instagram vibe, and what I mean by that is that it's visual, so it's nice, it's appealing, it's beautiful, because people scroll Instagram to see nice images, and if they see something nice, they want to learn more about that. This is how it works. They won't be just interested to like, hey, check out my post, and something flies by and it's not interesting and it's grayed out and there's no color in that, nor faces. So then it doesn't make sense. So if you have like beautiful image of classroom with kids, with happy faces, because Instagram a lot about emotions, once they see, so in your ads you want to have faces, that's for sure, like absolutely for sure. If you can have, if you can post something like that, then I would test Instagram. But here's what you can do on Facebook. You can use breakdowns. So if you will click breakdown, and if you will click, let me take it here. If you will click delivery and click placement, you will be able to see all of the places that people convert. So that's why I would recommend to start with automatic placements, because later on you will be able to get all of the data, and you will see that here I like 1,600 of my impressions were shown on Facebook feed on mobile devices out of 2,400. So maybe I should just focus on Facebook. And again, here's what I wanted to show you about the breakdowns, that with recent changes, you can see that all of the conversions that we got are uncategorized. Facebook just does not provide data on what exactly conversion device was and conversion platform placement. So that's a big problem right now. And I think what Facebook is doing, they are just trying to find a smart way to display this data. So I assume it will be displayed later on, but with the delays. So you will have like 3 days delay before data will be attributed to a specific placement. But here's how you would run like Instagram if you want to run just Instagram. I wouldn't recommend though. Yep.
Thank you.
Ivan, can I ask a question that I know is normally commonly asked? And that is, how long should you run a campaign? Let's say you have a video that you made or a picture before you kind of pull it, before it becomes overexposed.
That's a really good question. And I would say that it hugely depends on your audience. So if you're running specific remarketing campaign to people who visited your website within the last 14 days, what it means is that this is dynamic audience. It will be fully refreshed after 14 days cycle, right? So for these kind of audiences, that's why we recommend remarketing, because you set it up once and you run it forever because you don't have ad fatigue, you don't have frequency problems. But if it's just a regular ad to like interest-based audience, I would recommend pausing that on frequency of about 6. So this is the data you can get from Facebook. Once you click columns, you can choose frequency. And once you will show your ads 6 times to one person in average, that's the point when that's enough. If they did not convert before that, that means they are not engaged. On the internet, you can see that this number as low as 2 or 3. So they've seen your ads 3 times enough. But what I see is that if you can afford to show your ads 6 times to one person, maybe on number 5 they will convert. But after number 6 or number 7, that's way too much. So 6 times to see one, you don't like watch Friends for all of the seasons for like 6 times. 3 is enough. Something about that.
Very true.
Yeah.
How many people feel like they'll be running Facebook ads now? It definitely, there's a lot going on. I think you did a really good job of explaining it. I think putting things into perspective, how to target from the frequency to the content. It's so important to consider every aspect if you really want to get a return on your investment in your ads. It's very easy to just boost a post for $20 and not really see too many returns. But
that's the majority of the problem. People try Facebook, so they boost one post, spend $30, they don't see any results, and they disengage their Facebook activities completely because it doesn't work, right? And a lot of huge brands do the same mistake. They just boost the post and they tell the same stuff, but they spend not like $20, they spend like $20,000. They don't see any results and they pause. And the problem was not the imagery or like the content, but the problem was that they didn't manage it properly. They didn't analyze the results. They didn't optimize their ads. They ran just one ad within one ad set, one campaign, and didn't see any results. So that's so true.
And budget-wise, are Facebook campaigns normally less expensive than a Google ad campaign?
That's also a good question. Difference between Facebook and Google is that on Google, you won't be able to spend unlimited amount of money. So on Google, you have market. So people who are searching for these type of keywords, they have to take some action. On Facebook, you don't have something like that. You have interest that's decided by Facebook, not by you. So you just tell, I would like parents, and Facebook will say, yeah, that's parent. Because of their algorithms. I don't know how they define parents. Most likely based on what you post or what you mark in your profile. So if you will post a lot of pictures of kids, then chances are you are a bad person, but also you can be a parent. So that's how Facebook can decide that, right? So
Also,
that's
on Facebook. Can people can say, oh, got married, or can you put had a child maybe and the year your child was born? Because I think that's one of the features you can put on your profile. I'm not sure if they have can you put your child, but maybe that's
I'm not sure if it's that limited to that. I think it's much more than one. So it's I believe it analyzes huge amount of factors. So what type of websites you click on. So if you're did not make the status of like parent, but you click on a lot of ads that's targeted to like kids clothes or like something like that, Facebook will give the chances that you are a parent and will add you to this audience. And we don't know what their algorithm is, because if we would know, we will be able to reverse engineer that and hack that and show our ads to like the very, very best of the people and skip the competition completely. So that's why Facebook keeps that secret. Awesome.
Does anyone have any more questions about Google Ads? Anyone thinking about running some for your school? Maybe you want some tips or anything before we say goodbye?
If you have any like technical questions or anything like that, feel free to ask them. While we have a lower amount of people on this call, I will be able to give you a little bit more attention than usual.
We'll share this recording as well on our Facebook group, and if anyone can think of any questions later on, feel free to comment, and we'll get on answering those questions as well, because Facebook ads are always changing, their targeting is always changing, their privacy rules are always changing. So if a question develops, feel free to ask in our Facebook group or in our forum as well.
Awesome. Yeah, just ping me in the post. Able to answer. I don't really use Facebook.
It's too much work for you. Now you think of it as not so much as an escape, just actual work. So maybe you don't use it.
I don't understand. I enable VPN for different states, and I browse Facebook to watch ads. So I'm like the weirdest person you can see on Facebook.
You're doing research for work when you're on Facebook.
Awesome. Yeah, I believe that's it. I didn't see any more comments, and I hope that means that I described the topic too well. I didn't see any others.
Thank you so much. We definitely needed your expertise on this one. So thank you so much, Ivan. I think you shared some really good information about Facebook ads. And like I said earlier, if anyone has any questions, you can always comment on our Facebook group or forum. Yeah, thank you so much, Ivan, and for everyone who joined. We hope you learned some valuable information on Facebook ads, and we hope to see you at next week's town hall.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good rest of your day.
Bye-bye.